Yo, hold up a second. Because normally it's the guest that brings us coffee.
Oh, yeah, where the drinks at? This is Liquid Courage, right?
I should have brought the bottle.
Ernie.
I got you guys later.
We didn't produce this very well.
You didn't?
I'm not the producer.
Oh, my gosh.
Should have told me. I would have brought it in.
He should have told you.
We're going to talk about
Everyone has a unique gift, and Mike and Diana, host of the One Life podcast, believe that most people don't know how to use their gifts or what they are. Mike and Diana want you to see things from a different perspective and be true to yourself. The One Life podcast unites the world through art, fashion, music, and film. It inspires, motivates, and creates positive energy, love, and compassion to all communities and creates an equal playing field for all. On the One Life podcast, they cover topics like building relationships, overcoming adversity, habits of healthy people, and much, much more. We only have one life to live. Be yourself and live your truth. Add the One Life podcast to your playlist. That's the number 1NELife. Available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and your favorite podcast platform.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the One Life Podcast. I am Mike, M to the I to the C Reed, and as always, I have my beautiful, the lovely Diana in the building with me.
Hey, y'all.
And also, we got in the lobby, we got Ernie, the guy from Liquid Courage with no drinks today. Where's the drinks at? Where is this Liquid Courage at? We need some today. But now we got Ernie in the building, you guys. Liquid Courage is in the building with us, guys. We headed to the top floor. But first, let's check in with Diana with the Socialholic Experience. What's going on in the AV?
What is going on? All right, so today is our Cocktails and Convo, which is my partner here on that journey, Cocktails and Convo, Coffee and Convo, Ernie with Liquid Courage LA, and me, Diana, with Eventually Events. We host Coffee or Cocktails and Convo once a month, usually the first Thursday of every month. So it's a networking mixer. It's amazing. It's growing. I'm so excited. It's today at Zelda's on Lancaster Boulevard from 6 to 8 p.m. So probably most of you hearing this would have missed out already, but there's always next month. And then Monday Night Bites are back, y'all. So that is our food truck central. It's amazing. There's some delicious food going on at the Sergeant Steve Owens Park, Lancaster on Monday night. Then this coming Saturday, which is July 16th, is our Tour de Luxe, which is a beautiful, I don't know if it's a nonprofit, but I know it's a bike ride. They're doing, it's a charity, they're donating stuff. So you ride from Lucky Luke's in Lancaster on Lancaster Boulevard to Lucky Luke's in Palmdale and then back. It's amazing. It's so much fun. So if you want to register, go on Lucky Luke's Instagram or their website and get registered.
Are they providing bikes? Because I don't have one.
No, but you can rent them or something from Resurrection, I believe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Right. But check on that. You can always buy a bike.
Okay.
There's tons of stores. Last but not least, July 30th, which is a Saturday, is our Latin American Food Festival at the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds in the Hunter Pavilion. So much good food. So, yeah. Can you tell I love food?
Yes.
So that's what's going on, guys.
That was the Socialholic Experience. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, y'all, we are headed up to the top floor with Ernie with Liquid Courage. What's going on, Ernie? How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you guys for having me today. Excited to be here and talk to you guys a little bit about what we do.
Well, cool. We're going to talk about that. How you doing, Diana?
I'm doing good.
You doing amazing. How's your birthday month going?
It's going amazingly. We have so many plans this weekend again,
So last week at the Castaway was amazing.
Good.
That was a great dinner.
So much
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
I had a great time.
I invited you too, but you...
That's right.
It's 2 years in a row. Just kidding.
I know. You know how weekends are, though.
No, it's fine. I get it. So,
but you're having a blast,
I am.
which is important. That's great. I'm excited for you.
Kidding, younger every by the year. So
I know. How you do that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It's magic. I'm the fountain of youth. Dude, so talking about this drink, I forgot to mention, if you add a little bit of Malibu rum, delicious.
Is that what you got in there now?
No, I wish.
Oh.
Well, that's how I got one of my cocktail recipes. One of my most popular was the very berry hibiscus.
Ooh.
And I happened to splash a little bit in Vegas.
Starbucks, don't hear.
No.
No, but this one is, it's a pineapple coconut, and it's delicious, but it's refreshing. So adding a little bit of that rum is just,
It's perfect.
Nice. It looks good. I wish I had one.
Yeah.
I asked if you wanted something from Starbucks.
You did. You said coffee though. You didn't say that. Just
You
to be
always
fair.
have coffee. I've never
I
seen you
know.
with a drink.
I know, but you know what? That looks so good right now because it's so hot.
So after we'll go get Starbucks. Okay.
It's like 102 degrees.
I'm down. I can get another one.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
He's like, how long does this take?
So, anyways, Ernie.
Yes.
Because I don't know much about you, but you know what I do know about you is you're a cool dude. I love your drinks. You have dope special drinks. But I want to know Ernie. Who is Ernie? Like, how did you get into mobile bartending? And you know, just a little bit about your story, your backstory.
Well, bartending started a long time ago. It kind of just came about as I was the chosen one with friends and family, and I would just make random things with whatever was available.
You got a lot of people drunk then.
Yeah. Oh man, I have a lot of fun stories. But yeah, that's how we kind of got started. It was me messing around with different ingredients and using whatever I had available. Just because it was always, it wasn't a job or anything I was hired for. I was just kind of the dedicated person. It was either that or I had to grill.
Right.
Which I love doing both. But bartending, I think it took one person to be like, hey, you know, we want to have you at our event, like come through and just make a few drinks. And I think that lady offered me like, I don't know, like $60. And she's like, just show up, make a few drinks, and that's it. Dope. And that kind of gave me the idea of like, oh snap, like I like this. It was fun. And then I got to see how I was kind of in control of the crowd, and I love that. And you know, you keep kind of, I feel like I'm a big part of the entertainment. The more you hype the crowd up and you give them these drinks and they keep coming back to you, like it just flows really well.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, you know, from what you guys got going on, like your truck, I don't know what you call it, the trailer. Is it a trailer?
Onyx. Her name is Onyx.
Her name is Onyx.
Onyx.
But
Okay,
she's
she got a name. She got a name. I didn't know she had a name.
Big booty Onyx.
But I mean, from the time like we was kids, right? I mean, there's always been bartending services for events, right? But I feel like you guys done took it way to another level.
Yeah.
Like it is entertaining. It's like somewhere where you just want to hang out and talk and just hang out at the bar.
He doesn't just bring like a basic table and set
Right.
it. Like he makes you feel important and he makes you feel special, and he actually invested in himself and in his company. That's what you can tell the difference.
Right.
Plus, he wants to see others do well too, even if they're in the same industry. That's what sets him apart.
I mean, yeah, and we're going to talk about that because today we're going to talk about networking, and I feel like you are one of the pioneers in that because I see you on social media. I see you encouraging other people and just, you know, supporting other mobile bartenders, and that's incredible. So why is that important to you?
I think it's important just because I feel like I want to see people succeed. And even if I help them with a little bit of information or any way that I can help them and grow, I feel like that fulfills me. I don't see anything wrong with helping people. I know some people feel like they gotta charge or they gotta go through some sort of consultation or something like that. But I feel like it's just it's instilled in me to want to help, and I'm glad that people reach out because I pretty much answer and talk to anyone that reaches out to me. I'm always willing to
That's cool.
help.
Cool. No, absolutely. And so how did you and Diana meet? Because you guys connected with the whole, like tonight is cocktails and combos.
Oh well, that was way after we met. Like though, like I'll let you tell the story, but we met in 2019 before Coffee and Convo even was birthed.
So kind of going back to networking, I reached out to Diana on Instagram, and I told her, "Hey, I'm a bartender. I'm new to the area. If you ever need anyone for an event, like hit me up." And the next thing you knew, like she responded, and she's like, "Hey, I need you for this styled shoot at Hacienda." And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I've never done one before. I was still starting off. And after that, it was kind of like we vibed, and I obviously loved what she did at the shoot. And then she was like, hey, I have a client who needs a bartender last minute. Like, can you come? And I was like, heck yeah, dude. Like, let's do it. And it happened to be at Hacienda. And that was kind of the start of how, you know, we met, was literally through social media. And it was just me reaching out to her and just hoping that she would even read it. And she did, and she replied right away.
So what Diane, so I'll put you on the spot. So you wasn't new to your events at the time, right?
No, but I was new to the area as
You
well.
was new to the area as well. So that's what made you connect? Like, what was it about his email that you was like, well, I'm going to call this guy?
I think just because, like, I like working with everybody, and I didn't really know that he was new. Like, I was just hoping he would be a part of the shoot because we wanted to have a cocktail and make it look pretty. So I was just excited that he reached out, and I was like, hey, cool, yeah, I got some stuff for, like, if you want to do it, like, cool, you know, it saves me time searching. And no, I'm just kidding. but like, honestly, like, I'm always down, like, to collab with different vendors. So I was new to the area. I was about a year in-ish into the AV. So I was still building my network, and I didn't have a bartending service that I was, you know, really collabing or connected with. So, and I really didn't know who he was, and I didn't even know what he looked like or anything. I don't even know if we talked on the phone other than just messaging, and you showed up, and then it was like, oh, put in face to the name. And then from there, he got along with everybody. And, you know, I have my core people, and we all just vibed like we've known each other for years. And once I felt like that was just like the start of our family, of our industry family.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
I like that. So it was like really,
dream team.
It was really perfect timing.
It was. It's like, you know, it was meant to be that we all came together at the same time, because I feel like after that shoot, you know, you said it, you know, events started coming, and I feel like we all just like went up the elevator together, and it's just been an amazing ride.
Yeah,
that's really dope. So so it went down to your efforts. Perfect timing. And was you sending out like bulk emails, just trying to get work, or?
I was trying to get known, and I was trying to reach out to people.
So I wasn't the only coordinator. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I had obviously seen your work, and I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. She does big events and stuff like that, and that's something I wanted to get into at the time. Prior to that, because I started 2017, we were just doing a lot of like backyard boogies. I really never did any weddings until I really started working with her. And that's something that I had always wanted to do from when I started. It was like, I want to do weddings. I want to do corporate. I want to do bigger events. And she honestly was probably my way into that, for me to be able to see how things work. And it's completely different. People don't understand that when you work in a backyard, it's completely different, you know, when you work a wedding. But yeah, that was my way in, was through Diana. And then slowly but surely, we started doing it all.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah, a little bit of everything that we've done together.
So what inspires you to even like want to be like in the service industry?
Well, I've always been a people person, and I've always loved interacting with people. And I think the bartending was cool because I already like to talk, and then I didn't have to pursue people to talk to. They come to you. They come to the bar.
That's true.
So it was even easier, and the fact that I was making them something that they were gonna like, and it was gonna help them loosen up a little bit. And that's why I said, you know, liquid courage. Everyone needs a little bit of liquid courage. So it flowed well. My previous job was completely opposite of that.
What was your previous job?
So I worked in commercial property insurance. Okay. So it was a desk job. We really never got to talk to anyone other than our coworkers. So bartending was like what kind of fed that. I guess I needed to talk to people, and I did the bartending on the weekends.
That was your like librarian by day, stripper by night kind of.
Right, it was, right?
Yeah. So it was completely opposite of each other. But I mean,
Fun fact though, my mother-in-law used to work. He used to work at my mother-in-law's company.
Yeah.
And this before you guys met, so you didn't even know.
So when I posted pictures of him at the shoot, like we did, you know, our group shots and stuff. Like we just, you know, wrapped up our shoot, and she saw it. She was like, "I know him," and she was like, "Is his name Ernesto?" Or I forgot what she called you. And I was like, "Yeah, like how do you know this guy? He's a bartender." He's like, "No, he works at my job." I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I think I messaged you or something. I don't know. Somehow we all. So then since then he's, you know, always been a part of like our family stuff, our family, you know, get-togethers. So then he gets to see her, and it's been kind of fun.
Yeah, small world.
I know.
I was like, what?
Well, I mean that just shows how it was meant to be. Like that energy, you guys, because you guys are doing some amazing things out here in the AV. So that just shows how it was just meant to be.
Yeah,
that's a great story. That is a fun fact. And this is Mike's mom, right?
Yeah.
She's lovely. I just met her Saturday at the Castaway. She's hilarious though.
Yeah, she's really cool.
She's cool, funny.
She gets liquid courage, man. I love it. That's my favorite time when she's drinking. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight.
Yeah, she's definitely fun. She came at our table and we just had a great conversation.
Yeah,
she'll be like she'll ask you questions. She don't care. She'll be like, so tell me. I'm like, oh, that was a little deep.
Yeah, but the cool thing is every time I see her, she's always like, oh my God, Ernie, congratulations. Like, she loves to see the success that I've had.
Right.
And it's really cool that she was like, yeah, good thing you left and you're pursuing something that you love.
Right.
Yeah. But
that's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm interviewing you today. I don't know why.
Me?
Yes, you, Diana, my co-host.
Okay.
I'm
always up for it though.
I feel like I'm interviewing you. I don't know why.
Because you're learning something new about me.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's because I don't know, because I'm asking you questions. I don't know why you're answering without like just chiming in.
I don't know.
Is it the
Want me to
coffee?
chime in?
Do you sure you don't have rum in there?
I don't have
the good juice in there.
the happy juice.
The happy juice.
My happy juice. No, I'm just really excited for tonight. I think so. I'm just kind of like in my head about like, because we're also filming and we're playing riddles and I'm so excited.
So how did just talk about, since we're talking about that, how did Cocktails and Convo and Coffee and Convo started?
Coffee and Convo started. It was really your idea. He wanted to do, because we were doing a lot of like big networking mixers here where like we would not really label it a coffee or anything. It was just like a party for the vendors. And because of the COVID and pandemic, that really died down for a moment. And then we were like, but we still need to network. And once things kind of started opening up, I just felt like we couldn't do those big ones anymore right now with too many people. So I think that's kind of why you brought up Coffee and Convo. We started our first one. God, I don't even know. Was at the office here, right? Or was it the coffee?
Was that Trio?
It was like 8 of us.
Yeah, very small, and it was cool though because it gave us that opportunity to ask, like, hey, like, what do you guys want to learn or see or come about from this?
And I think we're still learning. I mean, about a year in, and I think cocktails definitely has been more of a favorite because people want to come and relax and just kind of just let go of the daily, grind and come and just enjoy, not really have to sit proper and listen to a speaker. I think most people are attending the cocktails, but I think the coffee has been very important because we get some really like topics, like for example, legal, like tax professional. We had Mike talk about motivation and mindset and how to be positive. We had Amy talk about social media. Torian, we talked about, what was he talking about? Wasn't it like investing and stuff like that? Financial. So, I mean, we're still looking for more, and we want more people to come and talk. And if you're a professional, please let us know, because we love hearing about it, and we want to make the Coffee and Convo grow just like Cocktails and Convo, because it's both. They're both important. They're different, but they're both important.
Absolutely. And the reason we do both is so that we can. Some people can't make either.
Right.
I mean, they either come night or they come morning. So we wanted to make it available for as many people as possible.
Well, we started just coffee. And then people were like, why can't you do one later? And we're like, okay, well, fine, we'll do one later then. And we noticed the difference. Like, we have a certain crowd in the morning and we have a certain crowd at night.
No, and that's a great idea. Like you say, because you broaden up your audience, more people involved, and I like that. I love it.
And now that we've gotten such a momentum, there have been so many locations, like restaurants or businesses that are like, hey, we want to be next. So now we're already booked up until I think November. So like December we have availability. I believe December is coffee, and then we'll be getting set up for 2023. But I mean, we have some amazing places that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's opened a lot of doors, and people have seen that.
Yeah, I think it's cool because people don't really, when you go work and you come home, you're not trying to go find a place, but this gives you the opportunity to get to know a restaurant or another business.
Well, one thing I love about mixers is because, like for me, networking is more about building relationships, and we kind of talked about that with Jeanette on our show a few weeks ago. like for me, like back in the day when I was younger, you know, people would always just pass out business cards, you know, and they called that networking. Like to me, that wasn't networking. I never passed out a business card. Like my business growing up in the entertainment industry has always been referrals. Like I never did any ads, any business cards. It's always been by word of mouth. And that's because I was always somewhere. Just like I call it networking, but it's really building relationships, right? And it wasn't even talking about what I do. Like, so my theory and my strategy has always been, like, if I saw somebody I wanted to work with, right, and this is a true story. I actually, this is how I met this guy named Chris Spencer. I don't know if you know the comedian, actor, Chris Spencer. He works with Kevin Hart. He did all Kevin Hart stuff. Okay. I need you to watch more TV.
I'm busy.
Nah, but
I told you, clip notes. Clip notes.
He's an executive producer of TV. Like I said, he's the one that got Kevin Hart his whole start. And but anyway, he's a good friend of my big brother mentor. But anyway, so I saw him one day, and I always wanted to work with him. And so I just saw him one day, and it was at a lounge up in Hollywood somewhere, and I just went up to him and said, I just like brushed by him, like, "Hey, Chris, how you doing?" Right, and then I walked off. And he just got and looked at me, right? And then like a week later, I did the same thing. "Hey, Chris, how you doing?" And I walked off. And I did so a few times I did that, right? Then, you know, a few more times, it was like, "Hey, Chris, how you doing?" He just looked at me. It's like, "Oh, hey." He was like, "What's your name again?" Like, you know, like he knew me, but he didn't. So he's like, "What's your name again?" It's like, I never gave him my name, but I was just like, "Oh, Mike, remember I saw you last week?" And he was like, "Oh, yeah, I did," because he did, right? But they don't remember things like that, right? So it's just like building that relationships until eventually every time I saw him at this one lounge, because it was a lounge that we all just hung out, till he just started talking to me. So now when I see Chris, he would actually be like, "Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing? We're wifey." Because at the time I was married to Nina, and I was always with her. So now whenever he sees me, he'll say, "Hey, Mike, how you doing?" And he calls her wifey. Like, "Where wifey at?" But I just built that relationship with him, and now I'm known him for all these years. And it's like, that's how I built relationships with people. Yeah.
But that's because you're a genuine person. That's, I think, why we connected, is because it was never like, what can I get from you, or what, you know, what can you give me? And it was never like that. We really became friends over karaoke.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what you did, and I don't even think you knew what I did until like recently when you found that I was on the Boulevard, because I saw Al. And it's never been like, so it's always just been like a great, like, wholesome friendship. And that's what I think works. And I think that's why we really became close too, is because it was never like, oh, like, can you do this, or can I do that? Or it became a point where like I wanted to help you, and I wanted to see you grow. That made me really happy. Yeah. And so even seeing when you getting Onyx, I was like, oh my God, almost at the point of tears, because I know how important that was. And I know that was so important to you. I think you cried, and that's awesome. Like that's like, yes, he made it. Okay, what's next? You know, and that's where we were, because it was like, we all root each other up. We are our cheerleaders. And I know that you and our core people, we all cheer each other. So, you know, when Ruby does something, we're like, yeah, Ruby, and Nikki, and all them. And so it's amazing. So I think that's why, being, like you said, just treating people like they're people, and not worrying about like, how can I get business from this person? It's like, no, how's your kid? How's this? Like, that's the real shit. Because when you develop that strong relationship, business comes naturally.
And that's why I always tell people, like, don't chase the money, chase your passion. You know, the money will always present itself. You know, and those are facts. Like, so that's what I do. That's what I do.
So what's next for you?
I
know you're speaking, public speaking. Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's
famous soon. I'm like, don't forget me. Don't forget me when you're famous.
Might be famous in like the mobile bar industry, but.
So are you doing public speaking in what area?
So every year there's a girl in Tennessee. She hosts a mobile bar conference.
Okay.
But it's gotten pretty big. She's had a great outcome. She used to own a mobile bar business before she got into coaching, mentoring in our industry, but she became so well known that she sold off her business, and she solely does just the mentoring now, coaching. So I attended 2 of her conferences. I flew all the way out to Nashville just to be a part, to learn. Same thing, you know, networking, building relationships, you know, being supportive, and led to us conversating outside of those conferences online. And, you know, next thing you knew, she was asking me to be a part of her next conference. And she wanted me to be a speaker. And And this is all just because, you know, I go out there and I support and I learn and I build relationships outside of the conference with as many people as I can. And she reached out to me. She's like, hey, you know, for this next one, we're going to hit different cities. And she's like, I want you to come out to all these different cities with me, and you're going to teach your own course.
You're going on tour?
Going on tour. Hey, it sounds like she's prepping you to take over.
I mean, that would be really cool. I've always just been very supportive. I've always just, you know, made sure to, you know, share what she does, because I learned a lot from it. And I want other people to learn. And ultimately, people who I send her to, you know, I don't get a cut from that. I'm solely just supporting. I'm just letting them know who I learned from. And I just send them her way. And if they end up doing something with her, that's cool.
But I mean, but look what you're doing, though. I mean, first of all, you're very successful. You know, I remember a month or so ago, you posted like you was booked up for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Like that's incredible. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
Again, but because you planted those seeds and you're helping everybody, and it's like you're chasing your passion. You wasn't chasing money; you were chasing your passion.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in return, look what it got you.
Yeah.
Look like what's coming. Like what you put out there in the universe, you get back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're a prime example of that.
Yeah. And my biggest thing is that if I help you, I just hope that the next person helps the next person. Like, that's all I really seek from it. Yeah, I just want to help plant the seed and see them grow, and then see them plant a seed for someone else. Right. So that we can all make it. Like,
right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can see that. I can see you actually taking over, like doing these conferences.
Yeah.
Because you do it, honestly, you do it on a lower scale on social media right now.
Yeah. So we recently I hosted a mobile bar meetup out in Los Angeles. The reason being is just because I wanted to see people come together, and we had a really good outcome. We had people come. I had a couple come from Stockton.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was like, what? She's like, yeah, we drove out here. We spent the night. She's like, we wanted to make sure we wouldn't miss it. And that blew me away. I was like, no way. Like,
That's awesome.
yeah, so it was just, little do you know how much of an impact you have on some people. And the fact that they drove out, like, that was huge. And I was able to, you know, help them. They had a few questions. I answered. Not only did they answer, like, I helped them, but there were so many other people there that they were able to ask questions to, and you know, it just kind of went around. And
So what year did you actually start?
2017, very small that first year.
So it's five years now.
Yeah, we just hit our 5th year last June.
So 5 years. Took you 5 years. How long did it really take you, like in the beginning, to like really get it up and going?
I want to say it took me like 2 years.
2?
Yeah. By 2019, that's when, you know, we kind of started to link up and we started to get rolling. I think my first year, I tell people all the time, like I did like 12 events my first year. So maybe an event a month. And back then I was like, damn, that's huge.
that is huge.
Yeah.
Even today, that'd be like, oh my God, these 12 events a year. I mean, you never know. Like, that's awesome.
And so like,
now you're doing like what, 50 weddings or 50 events a month? Just kidding. It feels like it.
I don't like to count them as I'm doing them, because then I'm like, man, that's a lot. But yeah, it's just slowly but surely we started getting going. The next year I did a little bit more.
Then you build a team. And
yeah, we started to add people on. At first it was just me. One event per day, that's it. And then I started to see the potential, like, oh, someone else wants to book me on the same day. And I didn't know what the heck to do because I didn't have a team. So then I started to look for bartenders and stuff like that. And, you know, I would have to train them and show them how to do it. And then I was like, whoa, now I can do 2 a day. And then,
this works.
Yeah, slowly but surely we started to build up. 2019 was like, it was a big jump because that year I think we did 60 events.
Yeah.
And to me, that was like, whoa, like I can't believe I did 60. And I just remember that one of my close friends was like, hey, bro, like you did 60. Next year, you got to double that. And I was like, heck no, there's no way.
No way you can skip.
There's no way. Because I felt like I did all I could do. And then, you know, COVID happened. 2021 comes around. And obviously people were just ready to go.
Yeah, they're
you know,
ready.
people
Tuesday,
had
Wednesday, you want
rescheduled.
party.
Yeah, and Diana knows this because we're in the event industry. Like everyone who had an event had to pause their event.
Right. And
there had to be a time for them to, you know, host it the next year.
It was crazy. I think we had burnout. I had burnout.
I had huge burnout.
2021 and even at the beginning, like March of this year, I was like, it's already coming back.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't. It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah, 2021 was
Insane.
by all. I feel like that's light.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 60.
But you made it. We made it.
Yeah.
So that's always a good sign, right? I
Absolutely.
mean,
Like it's always
you
a
can
learning
survive
lesson.
a pandemic. You
Yeah.
can survive anything.
Yeah. It was crazy just to figure out, we got to get creative. That's how we started the networking and started to keep small, and then wanting to see how we could help people stay active and still grow and not give up on what they had already started. And I feel a lot of people started to think like, oh, that's it. Like, even myself, it's just because you didn't know what was next. And us in the event industry.
We had to reinvent stuff. We had to reinvent the wheel. A lot of things, like you were selling drinks, like prepackaged or pre-made mixing drinks, and then you were selling that. Like I had the arch in my backyard. I was like, oh, if you want to elope, I got you. 6 people max, wear masks. Yeah. Like we had a whole thing, remember? And I think that's what sets the people that are meant to be in your business, in the industry, or that are we just know, like we're those type of people that no matter what comes our way, we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, you adapt to the. I mean, that's a real entrepreneur. You adapt to the situation and you move forward.
But they say, like, if the hustler didn't come out in you in 2020, then it's not in you.
Right.
Because like I was like, all right, can't do a full on wedding, but what else can we do? I was selling flowers and doing bouquet wraps and making succulents for Modern Tea Room and I was doing anything I could just to figure out how to stay afloat. Because I would just, not the money part, but just not to be insane with what was going on. I had to do something,
and also helping everyone else. And like if we did small events, it's like, hey, let's make sure that we can get someone else in.
Social media. Yeah. Like I was on my phone just posting restaurants and anyone I could think of. Just be like, yo, they're selling cookies at the back of their trunk. Go support, and that was how I supported, because I couldn't see anybody, but social media really helped pull that together. And I think after all of that, we are stronger as a community because of it, because they saw everyone just came together and was like, I have your back. And that's why it's so amazing. Yeah.
It was really cool.
So what kind of advice, Ernie, would you give someone who's starting out in business as far as networking? Like, what can they do so they're not giving up? Because starting a business is hard. And there's I don't know what the percentage is, but there's a high percentage of people that fail. And I think because they don't either properly know how to network or, like you said, Diana, the hustle is just not in them. But what are some of the things that, as far as networking, like what are the important key parts or key bullet points for networking to keep them afloat?
So I learned my networking skills because I dabbled a little bit in real estate. And real estate is all about networking.
Right.
So I just remember I had this, I don't think he was an agent. He was just like a motivational speaker that came into the office and was like, hey, like when you guys go out, you guys need to be networking. And he called it prospecting. And his thing is like, if they're 6 feet within you, like you have to find some sort of way to talk to them. And at first I hated it because, it wasn't in me naturally. Yeah. So what I did is I kind of took his advice and I did it my way. So I would approach people just by complimenting them. Like I wouldn't push business on them. I'd be like, hey, what's up, dude? Like, nice hat, nice shirt. And I would just build that small step of like at least introducing myself. Like, hey, I see you here all the time. Like, my name's Ernie. What's your name? What do you do? It was just building like that small step first before I pushed anything on them. Because that's how not only can you build a relationship, a friendship, and then potentially work on business together. But I think networking in person is way different. Like, I think everyone should network in person. Online, it's a little bit easier just because it's, you're just typing and hoping that they reply.
You're behind the screen, though. But like in person, it's different.
Yeah, I think in person is just making sure that you let people know, be confident of what you're doing and letting people know what you do. I feel like a lot of people stray away from letting people what they know. It's kind of a secret, or they don't want to let people know who the person is that runs the brand. And also making sure that you attend any type of mixing event, like any type of mix or networking events, just to get your name out there. Sometimes it's nerve-wracking because you're walking into a space where you know absolutely no one. And it's happened, like at our meetup, this guy comes to our meetup, doesn't approach any of us, but he sends me a message on Instagram saying like, hey, I was there, but I couldn't find the way to approach you. And so he left.
Aww.
And I was like, dang, dude, like you should have for sure came up to me or gave me a heads up, like, hey, I'm going to be there. I don't know how to do this, but I would love for you to show me. And I would have hands down would have been like, hey, this is so-and-so, like me talking, blah, blah. So, it just goes back to being confident about what you do and what you're trying to accomplish. But I personally never push business first.
Right.
To me, it's making sure, like you said earlier, it's about building that relationship.
Right. And I like what you said earlier about taking those small steps and making it yours, right? And I think that's where a lot of people get confused. And we talked about this before, that people take things literally. Like when I say how I do things, like don't do it like mine. Make it your own, like you said, right? You made it your own. And that's with anything in life. You have to make it your own. Like when we say do things, it don't mean do the exact same steps I did, because it's not going to work for you, because it worked for me because it's me, right? But you got to make it your own, and then those small steps are important.
You got to add your special sauce to it.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, and that's what's going to make it work. I say this: everybody has their own unique gift, and it's that sauce of yours that makes you unique.
Absolutely.
Like you could literally give them a blueprint to how you did it, but it is not going to work the same way it worked for you, because it's not you. And that's what people need to realize, is that this is just a guide, but you need to add your own. Like when you have a template of how to answer a phone for a job, hi, thank you for calling. It's hard when you have to copy that template exactly, but when you're like, this is what we kind of want you to say in your own words. I can roll with that, because I'm like, yo, what's up? No, I was kidding. No, but like I put my own flavor to it, my own emphasis on certain words, and you with the smile when you talk. You've told me that.
Hey,
too,
Diana did that to me when we first started Socialholic Instagram. I wrote out the bio thing, and she was like, that did not sound like me. And she changed it. Like, that don't sound like me.
It didn't. I was like, that is not how I talk. And anyone that knows me is going to be like, that's not Diana. Which I don't do all the Socialholic TV Instagram. This is my partner here. He does a lot of it too. So I kind of come in and chime in here once in a while. But he really does his magic on it. Yeah, he works.
Sometimes I be talking to people, and they like, remember that one girl? I'm not gonna say her name, but I was talking to somebody, and I was just talking to her.
I did all the time.
And she responded, and so I don't know, she thought she was talking to Diana. It was funny, hilarious, and I was like, that message was for me, right?
But it was like, the way she said it sounded like she was talking to me.
I know she did. She thought she was talking to you, but it was like,
I can't let you finish my conversation.
But I started the conversation.
But it was to me. So if you need to talk to me, you gotta say, "Hey, is this Diana?" Or this is messages for Diana, or this message is for Mike. Because both of us run Socialholic TV.
That was pretty funny. But yeah, no, she's right though. I mean, you have to make it yours. Even if it's wording, whatever, you have to make it yours, and that's what's going to make you successful.
Yeah, and I agree, because a lot of people question why I help so many people. Like, hey,
what do you get out of it?
Yeah, it's just like,
you don't get paid for this.
Exactly. Or people tell me I should charge. Or they tell me, like, you're giving them so much information, they're going to copy you. And I'm like, I'm not worried about that.
Right.
Because that just pushes you to do something different and go the next level that you're meant to go at.
Yeah. And to me, like you said just now, it's about creating your own, the way you want to do things. And I have my certain way. Like, people can try to be like Liquid Courage, and there's people who have tried. But it's like they don't have the
someone
same
even tried
recipe.
to take his name.
That's a whole other story. Yeah.
He had to drop a copyright lawsuit or a cease and desist.
A cease and desist.
Wow. Do not take Liquid Courage in no form or fashion, or else.
But fun fact, speaking of that, we just finished our trademark process. Woo-hoo. So now Liquid Courage is officially trademarked.
Oh, congrats! Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
I just got the email the other day. Nice. But yeah, so I don't mind helping people, because I know that they can try to do what I do, but it's really, they don't know exactly what I do behind the scenes. Because I give a little bit of information.
You're you.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Nobody can be you but you.
Yeah.
And it's taken you 5 years, and someone that's just barely starting, there's so many things that you don't know that he knows, that's why it makes a difference. That's why he's willing to help you, because it saves time, obviously, to get out of some of those issues that I'm sure you ran into. Be like, hey, don't do that, because this is what's going to possibly happen. Yeah. But, I think we always preach community over competition. That's a huge thing for me. You came into my world with that, because that's what we live and breathe. And like I mentioned before, no one's perfect. There's times that I get intimidated or I'm insecure when I meet someone else, but it's that conscious thought of like, no, let me reach out to that person and figure out how I can get over my insecurity, because that's just stupid. Because you don't know what another person, even someone new, they might have something, you're like, I never thought about that shit. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. How might work? And then you put your own mix on it. So, and I think I love that you did the meetup, because I saw some bartending companies that I love too. be a part of it.
Yeah.
And I love that you guys have that connection, because what if, you're not available and you can send someone their way and vice versa, or you could learn from somebody, or you guys could have these meetups, because no one's going to understand what you go through as a professional bartender or bar service like they will. You can't tell me stories. I'm going to be like, well, that doesn't sound so bad. I don't know. I forgot, Bree posted, someone says, oh, can I get a vodka and Tito's? And I'm like, does that really happen? I would never guess that. She's like, it happens a lot more than you think. I'm like, really?
Oh, yeah.
Why would you ask for, anyways. So I just, I don't get it. But, you tell it to a group of bar professionals and be like, yep, that's right. And I'm like, So it's great to have that kind of, I don't know, group to, therapy group to kind of vent to about some stuff.
Yeah, and it's cool because the reason I feel like it's needed is because people think, or are very small-minded and think there's only enough events for me. But, for example, last year, between me, another bartender named Curly Bartender, another bartender named King's Bartending Service, between us three, we did over 700 events last year.
Oh, wow.
And we still couldn't take any, all of us were completely booked.
You guys even did an event all together, I believe. Didn't you guys do an event where there was 3 or 4 bartending services at one event?
Yeah.
Like a Halloween.
A Halloween event, just so that people
and
could
y'all
see
were
what
packed. Each bar was lines.
Yeah.
So that just right there proves that.
And it just, to me, it's just if you're willing to hustle and try, there's room for everyone. Everyone can eat.
Absolutely.
It's just the way you go about it, and be creative, be willing to work with others, and network. Network is everything.
And that type of attitude is going to get you so much further than if you're mine.
Yeah.
Just having that open attitude, what's meant for you is going to be for you. That right there, you just walk through life without a worry in your world, because you know that, and that's
and
what
then
you do.
One of the reasons that I also started helping people, I went to this conference, right, in Nashville, and this couple had just started. I was already 2-3 years in. And they asked me so many questions. And I was like, yeah, this is how you do it, blah, 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 blah. Try to be super helpful. Next thing you know, they start their business, and they built a horse trailer bar. Back then, there wasn't too many. I was actually trying to be one of the first to do it in LA. And so I reached back out to them, and I was like, hey, where'd you do this? Blah, blah, blah. How'd you in this trailer, this, and that? Who fabricated? And she's like, hey, I can't answer all these questions. If I have time, I'll try to get to it. Send me an email instead. And I was like, whoa, did she forget that I answered all these questions for her?
Right.
And I was like, there's no way.
Wow.
There's no way. And it kind of bothered me. And I was like, wow, she's trying to hint to me hey, time is money type deal. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Not that I got a little upset, because I felt like I was trying to help them, and I was hoping for a little guidance from them also. And she kind of just blew me off.
But now you got Onyx, so
yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, so and I'm glad I waited too, because
then you would have been the 4th or 5th in the
oh man, they started
Central LA.
Yeah, they started coming out of everywhere.
And I love that each one though that I do know of is so unique though. They're not the same, even though horse trade, no, but there's some that they're really different, and I love it, and some of them that carry different products. So. But I love Onyx.
And I like that as well. Like how you were just saying, there's so many events, right? But also, we all have different tastes at different times. We don't eat the same food every day or drink the same drinks every day. So variety is good. And that helps everybody, and it keeps everybody eating, like you said. Because if it was only one type of thing, it's how long would that? It won't be sustainable. So it's good that there's variety out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you do the Quince giveaway.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So the Quince giveaway we try to do once a year. Last year we ended up doing 2 because we couldn't pick one winner. So
hard, right?
Yeah, it's super hard.
But they're both, and I want to choose them both.
Yeah. So me and another buddy, his name is Eric. He's the owner of DJ Estradation Entertainment.
Shout out to Eric.
So it was actually his idea from the get-go, and I kind of just jumped on once he told me, and I loved the cause. So he used to give away, he still does give away, but in the beginning it was literally just him. He gave away a free DJ entertainment package. And I mean, that's a few $1,000 you're saving on.
Especially him, because he comes with the robots and the
photo booth
and the
sparklers, you name it. It's like a full-on show. And so he kind of told me, and I was like, dude, like, I would love to be a part of this. If there's any way that you need a bartender at a quinceañera, let me know. He's like, all right, cool, let's do it, dude. So he threw me on, and the way that it works is we try to pick a very deserving family. And so people send in emails, and we kind of read through all the emails, and between all the people who, like, more vendors ended up jumping in, wanting to help and give away a completely free service. And so between all of us, we go through the emails, and we kind of try to choose a few and kind of narrow it down. And then I think this last weekend we did 2, and it was our 5th annual quinceañera giveaway. So it's really cool to give back. I mean, it's cool to see that,
I want to be a part of it, Eric.
We gotta hit him up.
Left me out, Eric.
Yeah, it's really cool to be a part
you.
of these things, though. And they're super thankful, and we always do it in a big manner. So when they find out that they're winners, we do like a whole day of. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be fun.
Wedding's mine, Eric. Don't touch the wedding giveaway.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a wedding giveaway. Okay.
But yeah, it's super
Next
cool.
year, though, not this year. Not this year. I'm dying this year.
Next year. Yeah.
I'm not getting married. I don't know what we're talking about.
Why do we say that?
I don't know why they came out right now. I'm deleting that. This will not be.
We can give you a giveaway.
I think I just set myself up for failure right
Let's
now.
do a birthday party for you or something. Jeez, Mike.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. Why are we talking about this?
We're talking about networking here.
All right, let's talk about you. I know you're married. You have a beautiful daughter.
Yeah,
Her birthday's
absolutely.
coming up, and your birthday's coming up. Any big plans?
Not yet.
Oh yeah, he's married, y'all. I know some of y'all are like, no, not Ernie.
Yeah, we don't have any plans. Her birthday's coming up. Our birthdays are actually 10 days apart.
That's so cool.
So you have one daughter?
Yes, I have one daughter. She's 9 years old.
Oh,
Or turning 9 years old.
Wait, how old are you?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'm 30.
You're not a woman, so I can ask those questions.
That's right.
I'm 34 years old.
Okay, you're a
turning
young one.
35.
You're young. Okay.
I didn't get started into my business until a little later in life.
But that's great,
okay,
though. Yeah, that's
Because you
great.
had your 20s to fuck up, and then like, now you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's
Now I
I'm
gotta
kind of
take
glad
care
the
of
way
some
it
shit.
worked. It worked that way. Kind of.
But you had a really good job for you to have the opportunity to
Yeah.
work your business
1,000%.
on the weekends and work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was 9 to 5, but like work your day job, and then so I think I did the same thing with mine. So I know that's probably why you were able to really invest so much time
Yeah.
and everything into it until you made the right decision to be like, okay, I'm going full time with this.
Yeah. And it was really hard to let go,
Wasn't
too.
that scary?
Yeah. Super
The
hard.
benefits, the 401k, oh my God.
Everything. And the job was great.
Yeah.
I had nothing bad to say about the job. Like, amazing company.
Yeah, the people out here are really good to work for. They really take care of their people.
Yeah.
Which is rare these days.
So what's the big plan now for Liquid Courage? Like, what is the ultimate goal?
So I think recently I've decided that I would love to franchise. Eventually, start in California. My brother-in-law actually was telling me or mentioning like, hey, like you should franchise. And, he always mentioned like, oh, bring it up here. I'll do the events, or I'll find people to do the events. But in the beginning, it didn't seem possible. But as we grow and, you start to learn more and you see more, I think franchising is definitely something that I want to get into, or even, coaching and mentoring other mobile bar businesses.
I could see that.
And helping them get
I feel
started.
like you're going to do what that girl did. I'm not saying sell Liquid Courage, but I feel like you're definitely going to be a staple in that that community to coach and teach others. And even if it's not, someone who's trying to, venture out on their own, maybe it's just they just want to know how to make certain drinks, or even teaching, how to be in business, entrepreneuring and stuff like that.
Yeah. And it's something that I've learned as I had Liquid Courage. It wasn't anything that I wanted to do in the past.
Listen, I dry clean my clothes, and I'm like, what the fuck is scratching me on my neck? The dry clean.
Oh my God.
Every time I move my neck, I'm like, the fuck is scratching me? Sorry. Why you look at me like that? Go ahead.
But yeah, that's what I want to do with Liquid Courage, is grow it and, eventually give back even more.
That's cool.
I see Liquid Courage as a like brick and mortar bar.
Yeah,
Because that's just a
cool.
dope name.
Yeah.
Like I see like that. I can literally see that.
Yeah. Well, like my whole aesthetic is like 1920s, like speakeasy vibes. So I've always wanted to do like or open some sort of speakeasy,
Right.
with the brand or even aside from the brand. But that's
But the brand is dope. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, Liquid Courage. This is the name. Where did that name come from? Like, how did you come up with the name?
that was tough. So we bounced around a bunch of names between me and my best friends, and we kind of started to eliminate those names. And I think my buddy, I mean, all credit to my boy Oscar, because he was like, "Hey, what about Liquid Courage?" And I was like, "Oh snap, that's kind of catchy." And then my other boy Danny was like, "Yeah, because everyone needs a little Liquid Courage."
Right.
And I was like,
That's
"Whoa."
my tagline.
Like that's it. Like
Yeah.
that's it. We like literally dropped everything else, and we're like, "All right, Liquid
That's it.
Courage."
Is it
available?
Yeah.
But no, that I can see that as a brand. I can see it as your own drink at some point. You know,
Yeah. I mean, I would love to get into all of that.
you got to dream big that it scares you.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
even with the mixers, when I was doing the mixers in 2020, it just sparked an idea of like, man, I wish I could do this on a commercial level.
Good.
And so that's definitely a goal. I mean, there's a lot that can come out of this that I didn't know in the beginning. So it's slowly but surely coming about, and even the trailer was something that I never thought was ever going to happen.
Right. And you did that in a short amount of time.
Yeah, luckily we were able to work really hard, and it came about,
Yeah.
and I took the opportunity.
Yep.
Nice.
I know that we're going to be moving, or not moving, but also growing, I should say. We have our coffee and networking here in AV, but we are planning on going to push it towards more LA market and also Ventura market. So we're really excited about that. That's like a 2023 goal. So there's a lot. I mean, that's giving back right there too. And just seeing other businesses come together and you know, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people ask us too, like, why don't we charge?
I know, and we're still like,
I'm like, I
like what I do.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like I have fun doing it. Why?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's fun.
And I'm getting out of it what everybody else is getting out of it. I'm meeting new people. I mean, there's new people coming tonight that they RSVP, and I was like, I don't know this person. I hope they please come talk to us.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get the idea like, oh, they're untouchables. No, we're not untouchables.
No.
We like to talk because we don't know like.
You're
Networking
intimidating.
can change your life. No, I'm not.
Sure.
I know. People tell me that all the time. But I don't mean to be.
No, but I mean, we host these events. You know, we
I'm
want
really
people.
nice once you get to know me. Right?
But the thing is, like, we host them, so I think people, not like you said, I mean, they might be intimidated. But at the events, we're pretty open. We talk to everyone. We
Especially
make
when
our
I have a
rounds.
liquid courage in me. I'm like, what's up? Taking selfies with you. No, but really, like, that's what we're there for. We do this because we want to see businesses grow. And like I said before, you never know. Networking can change your whole life. That one person you meet could change your whole life.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what brought all of us together.
Yeah. Well, I think because of our relationship is why I have such a big, or why I'm so involved in the community here. And just because, you know, you kind of open the doors.
This is my friend Ernie. This is my friend Ernie. Everyone's like, who's Ernie?
And slowly but surely, people, I mean, it started to do everything around here.
Pretty
like,
soon
for
they were inviting
everyone.
him and not me anymore. And I was like, jeez, guys. All right. I see how it is.
It's like we come in a package.
Yeah, what happened to me? I don't even have to come
Yeah.
in. Just let me come as a guest.
I'm so involved in the community up here, and I love it. And, you know, I'm glad that everyone gave
He
me the
has a similar
opportunity.
story, too.
What
Yeah.
who?
Ever since you met me, life has been different.
No, and it has. Like I was gonna say that earlier. Like you're the magic key or whatever, because ever since I started
Mother Teresa of
hanging out with her
business.
out here, like things have really started happening.
Yeah.
And just the energy and the vibe with, you know, different people. Like,
Yeah.
I love it.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. You've
So
definitely
what-
started something out here, so which is
Thank you. We're going to take it everywhere. We're
Yeah.
going to
So
go all over.
what's next? What's next for you?
Like, for real. Like,
Because I have a next step for you,
Oh.
and I don't know if you've done this or not.
podcast.
No.
which I thought of.
gonna say, this is mine. I was kidding.
the next event I see you at, and I'm walking around, and Liquid Courage is there. When I'm walking around, everybody that has a drink in their hand, their cup should say Liquid Courage.
I've thought about that. And at first I wanted to brand as much possible.
Branding is important.
Yeah. But
Only because I have a branding company. That's why.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that branding is, as you know, every time you see me, I always have something 1NELife on.
Yeah.
Like branding is very important.
I think when it comes to cups though, like it was going back to that conference. She mentioned something. She's like, 2 things you should never invest in as a mobile bar brand. First one was, don't buy koozies. She's
like, don't buy though.
Yeah.
What a bottle.
And the second thing was, don't brand your cups because people drink them and then throw them away. So she's like, you're gonna spend
Not
extra money.
I keep my cup.
I mean, because we use plastic cups, and then you buy a sticker or you get them printed on. She's like, it's just like you can use that money to brand or create a QR code or a banner, something that's gonna stay there for people to see.
I get that idea, but think about this, and she's right, and that's one perspective, right? But think about this: when you go to Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, all those are plastic cups, and what do? We take them
People
home.
take them home.
Souvenirs.
We take them home as souvenirs.
Yeah.
Right?
So like, I don't know, Kona Ice, shout out to Kona Ice here in the AV. They actually have a marketing program. I don't know if you know this, where you can put your logo or something on their cups. I think it's like 500 cups for so much. And they only do 1 or 2 businesses at a time. So you're not having to worry about your cup getting lost in the mix. And you can choose the changing color cup, or you can choose the standard cup or whatever. But like, that's marketing. These kids want this icy or this, icy, and the parents, and it's like your information on there. So I've actually considered it last year, but then, I was like, okay, well, let me wait. I don't know why I haven't done it yet, but I think it was a great idea.
Yeah.
But I think, and the only reason why I said for you is because of your brand name, Liquid Courage. Like, that's such a dope name. So whenever someone's walking around with a cup, people always say, hey, what you drinking? Oh, this is my Liquid Courage. It just has a vibe to it.
Yeah.
That's my Liquid Courage.
It just has a vibe to it, right? So it kind of makes sense. Like, if your brand was something else, then I would be like, okay, right, she's right. Like, no one's really want to keep a cup that says blah, blah, blah bar, right? But Liquid Courage, like, that's just a so dope vibe.
Yeah.
I want cups for social.
Like, it is my Liquid Courage. Like,
I
that's
need a wine
dope.
glass that says social.
Yeah.
I would keep that cup.
I mean, I've thought of
Anybody
investing
listening to
into
me?
like.
Just kidding.
What are you talking about?
I want a wine glass that says social.
Oh, yeah.
So I
That'd
can
be
walk
cool.
around
Well,
and be like, come take a
But
sip
see,
with me.
again, I want to do that because Socialholic is a dope name that should be on a wine
And my
glass.
tagline is, come take a sip with me.
Right. So it just
Wait, what
makes
is yours?
sense.
It's,
It inspires,
let me-
motivates,
Pour
and
me
creates
in.
pour me a
positive
little liquid
energy
courage.
and
Yeah,
love.
pour me a little liquid
Compassion
courage.
Pour me a little
in
liquid
communities
with
and
a
create
splash of
an equal
courage.
playing
Right.
field
Something like
for
that.
And that's
all.
dope. Like, I can see people walking around with cups with liquid courage, and because people always say, "What you drinking?" Oh, it's my liquid courage. Like,
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Like, but I think
Yeah,
I
be
would
like,
want to
say that
invest in a better
again.
cup.
Say Liquid Courage.
Add the One
And
Life
then we're gonna ask
podcast
you
to your
sponsor
playlist. That's the number 1 1NELife. Available
That was
on
cool how you
Spotify,
said it.
Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and your favorite
Pour me
podcast
in.
platform.
Pour me a little liquid with a splash of courage.
that's the courage. That's a dope tagline. I like that. I like that.
I like it.
So where we off to?
Woo woo, we gotta go make copies.
Yeah.
Staples.
For coffee and combo. Cocktails and combo.
Cocktails and combo.
Cocktails and combo. I'm ready for the cocktail part.
Yeah.
Me too.
I've never had their cocktails.
It's
Oh,
so
wait a minute.
good.
Are you making drinks there?
No.
No,
You
no,
make
no.
you make the best mixed drinks though. You do
Oh,
know that,
thank
right?
you.
Don't tell Buck.
Who?
Buck, you didn't hear that part.
Buck,
For private events.
For private events, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Save yourself.
You never know. I might open up a bar up here. I think it's needed. There's a lot
Here?
of bars up here, but there's nothing that like what I envision.
No.
Right. And again, variety, right? One night I might want Zelda's. Next night I might want Liquid Courage.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I have ideas. I want to open up a spot out here too, and I actually found the perfect location. Now I just need the money.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get you that.
All right. Well, it was so much fun talking to you. I mean, I already know a lot about you, but it's cool
Yes.
to talk to him about you.
Thank you guys.
It was cool to introduce you to him and his life.
Absolutely. But thanks, man. We really appreciate you. We're about to take off now because we got to go do this cocktails and convo. But first, let's talk about it. If you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you have anything you want to get off your chest or whatever, hit us up. 747-999-8021. Again, 747-999-8021. Or hit us on IG. Follow us on IG. My IG handle is 1Life Brand. Diana's is Socialholic TV. Ernie, how do they get in touch with Liquid Courage?
Instagram is probably the best. At Liquid Courage LA. We're on every other platform too. TikTok, Yelp, Facebook. But Instagram's a place.
And for booking, don't DM you. I saw that on your
Email,
IG. You
please.
gotta
Mail,
you gotta
please.
email him.
Or check out our website, liquidcouragela.com.
All right, y'all. We out of here. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you again, Ernie. Appreciate you.
Sorry, I had to tell people. I forgot they're called. They're mic things?
They're called mic flags. I don't know why they call them flags, but they're called mic flags.
These are my mic boxes.
My mic boxes.
I like them.
Hilarious.
All right, bye y'all.
We out of here, y'all. We going back down to the lobby, y'all. We out of here.
Everyone has a unique gift, and Mike and Diana, host of the 1NELife podcast, believe that most people don't know how to use their gifts or what they are. Mike and Diana want you to see things from a different perspective and be true to yourself. The 1NELife podcast unites the world through art, fashion, music, and film. It inspires, motivates, and creates positive energy, love, and compassion to all communities and creates an equal playing field for all. On the 1NELife podcast, they cover topics like building relationships, overcoming adversity, habits of healthy people, and much, much more. We only have one life to live. Be yourself and live your truth. Add the 1NELife podcast to your playlist. That's the number 1NELife. Available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and your favorite podcast platform.